Welcome back to our late lunch show. Jamie's still on holiday, so I'm covering him again this week with our guest. But before we kick off with that, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Bold Mango Media, for this fantastic studio that we're in. And I'd also like to give a shout out to Grow for our coffees. So we're all beautiful inside and out this week. We've all got the same cups this week. And I've been persuaded this morning by Jay. He picked himself up an Empire biscuit this morning. So Jay, if you're watching, I think that one puts your one for a run for its money. Guest this week is David Christian, and what is it you've got this week?
Well, this week I've got a cinnamon bun, I think. Let me show you this if I can. I've had a quick peek. It's the largest bun or cake, I think. Can you see that? I've ever seen. It's absolutely enormous. So hopefully there'll be people in this building that I can share it with, like a small busload.
There's a reason that comes with a fork and knife, isn't there?
Absolutely. And I won't eat this on camera to spare you all. Because
no, definitely not. That's one for after the show, that, isn't it? Yeah. So, yes, David's here with us because he's been involved with us since the very, very, very beginning and are still involved with our business to this day. And it'd be great for you to do a short introduction to who you are and where it all began with us and what you do for businesses and why we've all been working together.
Yeah, no, delighted. I'm kind of back. I thought I'd escaped from Jamie and you, but no, we're back. Now my background, well, I won't give you the whole history, but I was asked to set up the West Coast Accelerator Program for the Hunter Foundation. Part of that, I was working for the Hunter Foundation, one of their other businesses at the time, and part of the reason I was asked to set this up was because I'd had my own business in the past. I'd been in the corporate world and I'd done some great things, and but decided I needed to do my own thing when I turned 40, which was quite a long time ago now, sadly.
I'm heading that way myself.
And one of my businesses I went quite well, but I just prior to, it was about 2007, I invested quite heavily in a business, and it was a franchise consultancy with some people south of the border and in Ireland. And then in 2008-9, credit crunch happened.
Yeah.
And what that taught me is you don't put all of your financial eggs in one basket. But at that time, nothing ever went wrong.
Yeah. Well, it's like me from Aberdeen, everything oil and gas up in Aberdeen. That's what my last business was working for. As soon as that oil and gas price fell, so did all the work and all the house prices and everything else as well.
Absolutely. So, I lost everything. Lost the house, lost the savings. Fortunately, my dear wife stuck by me. And we survived. We picked ourselves up, and I started our business. And at that point, I won't give you the whole story. I couldn't scale it. There wasn't enough support. I was probably too proud and too stupid to ask for help.
Yeah. Because we don't know it all. No one knows everything.
Nobody knows it all. I clearly am a bloke, therefore I thought I did. And didn't. So I stopped that. Ended up working for, as I say, one of the West Coast Capital, Hunter Foundation businesses.
Yes.
So because I had made a mess of stuff, but also did quite well, I ended up running the West Coast Accelerator Program. Yeah. And I think a lot of that experience, good and bad, of how to set things up, how to grow things, how to not grow things.
A lot of lessons learned.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah. And then, so quite early on, one of the first entrepreneurs was Jamie Burns, walks through the door. And I remember at the first meeting with him, weirdly, that I felt quite intimidated. I'm supposed to be running this program. And I was fairly sure he knew more about this than I did.
That sounds like Jimmy, yeah.
Yes. Very capable individual. But the thing I didn't realize at the time was he was smarter than I thought. And he was smarter because he was there to get help. Yes. He was there because he realized a business owner can't do it all on his own.
Yeah.
So he was there for the support. And it wasn't just from me, it was from the other entrepreneurs.
Peer-to-peer.
Exactly. It's the peer-to-peer learning. And very quickly, he actually did things that I asked him to do, which was...
unusual, was it for?
Yeah. People don't tend to... It was all about the basics for me, which if you're going to start a business, understand two things: what you're going to start and why you want to start it. And the why was, the old Simon Sinek book, your why, but why has to be personal. Why are you starting it? For your personal reasons. And often that comes down to finances, but it's generally down to your family and the people around you and your lifestyle. But also there's a bit of legacy thing. What do you want to create? A bit of ego. Sometimes just you want to do something good. But then you gotta that's your why, but then it's the what. What's the vision? What are you trying to build? And that's the thing that most people really struggle with. You think, I'm going to create a business in this sphere. If it's engineering or it's widget manufacturing, there's health and well-being, but actually what you're going to build. This is a business. This isn't just a hobby.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's the detail of that takes quite a long time.
And even to get it right as well, because you don't always, what you think in the beginning might not actually be the final product or the final solution. And there's a lot of tweaking and mistakes to be made along the journey as well, isn't there?
That's the exact thing. Yeah, absolutely. You've got to be prepared to learn and make mistakes. Yeah. And there's all sorts of books and minimum viable product about testing stuff and learning. And it's so important. But just to have an idea, try it, capture it, and then learn.
Yeah. Because how many businesses were in that West Coast Accelerator when you were running it?
I could be correct, but I think it was 234.
Wow.
Over 5 years, or just over 5 years. So I learned an awful lot.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a lot of us, even with our internal businesses and things, it's a lot to manage, never mind.
But it was also every business was different. And I think that's one of the ways I work now with businesses, that there's principles. Of course there are. I talk about the why and the vision, and then there's the structures, and you can read all the books and watch all the videos, all that. And apply the experience. Every single business follows certain patterns, but every single business is individual.
Correct, yeah.
And I think that's the important thing, that the business owners, yourself and Jamie, you've got to, your technical knowledge, but also go with your gut. What's working? But stay on that and be true to yourselves. And there's no question you have been. Yeah,
and I think it's been driven behind as well. Like, have that drive and passion. I think you really need the passion to see you through the hard times and the good times, and to drive your team. Because as you grow in the beginning, just Jamie on his own, me and Jamie, and then our first member of staff and stuff. But as you grow and grow and grow, it's keeping that sort of passion and momentum going through the entire team. And that brings its own challenges that are totally different to the challenges that you have in the very beginning, isn't it? So,
absolutely. And which goes back to this why thing. If you don't have the passion for the project, don't start it.
Yeah.
And you've got to be true. And one of the other things that Ailsa have been very good at, and the pair of you did right from the very beginning, was get the business culture. And that is people, planet, profit for Ailsa. But it's not just a twee phrase. It's not just 3 words.
No, it's not some writing on the wall or something. There's meaning behind that.
It's the real in-depth of meaning behind that, which means people give a shit. And it means you translate that and you transmit that to your staff. They get it. And if they don't get it, they don't join the company or they don't last. They've got to get it. They've got to be honest to that cause. And that's the one thing that, since I've been reintroduced to Ailsa, everybody gets that. Everybody pulls together. Everybody puts a good shift in because it means something.
Yes. And again, it's not just some words, is it?
And it also carries you through, because there will have been dark days, not that we need to discuss those, but there will be days that things don't go right.
Peaks and troughs.
Yeah. But the troughs happen.
Oh, for sure. And from the West Coast Accelerator, when we were there, one thing we almost held back, we didn't strive to get loads of contracts or loads of money or anything in the beginning. A lot of it was structure and putting things in place and trying to even get ready for like our ISO even back then, even though we didn't go for it quite as soon as that. How many of the other businesses did you see that would try and get the structure right? Because a lot of the time, even on the cohorts, things I'm on, a lot of people's businesses that have been successful kind of grew unexpectedly. And then they're like, oh, we maybe don't have the process here, or maybe we haven't got the policies written or the workbooks. And they're then having to sort of backtrack.
Well, funnily enough, it's a good question, because the vast majority of, in my experience, of people start with a small business and their main aim is to grow a small business. And that's not what you and Jamie did. No, you came in to create a big business.
Yeah.
You have to start small, but you came in with the idea of the structure of a big business. It was always going to be a 20 million, 30 million pound business.
Yeah,
it's on its way. It's not there yet, but that's always been the plan.
Yeah.
Whereas the vast majority, quite understandably, people say, well, if I can get to my first $250,000, if I can get to my first $1 million, that's fantastic. Then, right, well, things are now starting to creak. Things are now starting to break. I better put a system in, but it's ISO or there's
reactive sort of changes.
They're going by, and it's difficult to unpick those things. I think I was as guilty when I started my own business. You learn those lessons. And I think
that's why it's key having someone like you at the West Coast at the time to even give us the feedback. Oh, look, this is what we're thinking. This is the plan. And it's getting that feedback off of someone who's experienced it and is experiencing it with all these other businesses. Because not everything we'd said was perfect. Not everything we said was right. And it was always really beneficial to us to get honest feedback, because it was honest feedback every time. I really appreciate
I think
that honesty.
For somebody who's I can't use that phrase. Somebody who's messed up once or twice.
Yeah.
There's no point in being nice to folk for the sake of it. It's got to be honest. It's got to be straightforward. I challenge stuff, but very early on, you were honest with yourselves.
Yeah.
That we want to create something big here and important.
All at one desk that we had with one chair in an open plan office. That was the Ailsa HQ back in day one, wasn't it?
And don't forget the whiteboard, because the whiteboard behind that one desk, and that from day one, week one, had corporate goals on it and culture on it. And that was the thing.
I've still got the photos on my phone from when we'd even done some of the strategy back in, I think it was March or whatever it was. And we had all the photos saved on our phones to remind ourselves of what the 10-year, 5-year plan, what the 3-year was, what the 2-year and what the 1-year was. And we'd always look back and go, do you know what? We've actually achieved that, or we've exceeded that. Or if there's certain ones you didn't achieve, you're still like, are we disappointed we're only slightly off on that? No, we've still grown massively. We've still made an impact here.
But that's a great lesson. Is whilst it's great having goals, in this case, the 10-year, which seems airy-fairy, it's years away. Yeah. But then you work the 3-year, or this is the way we've worked, with 3-year, then the 1 year, and then 90 days. There's different systems, but that tends to work with people's mindsets. That you can see these things. But it is, and you've got to put the milestones in place and some way of measuring the data.
Yeah.
So how do you know it's working? How do you know it's not working?
Yeah.
How do you know you're late? How do you know you're early? Because if it's early, something's working great.
Yeah.
But is it working right?
This brings us on to where we are now and where we are with yourself now, being back quite heavily involved with the business, because we've obviously split our divisions up and have business leaders on each of the departments, which is almost what we've just spoke about there, repeating itself, starting all over again with the entrepreneurship of our next generation of leaders in the company to start their own business within the business.
Which is it's great to see. It's great to be involved in. It's exciting to be involved in, because you've now just, as you say, created 4 brand new businesses.
Yeah.
And they're going to be, well, the technicalities, they're going to be 4 different profit centres.
Yeah.
So they've got to have their own visions. They'll follow the culture of the organisation.
Yeah.
They've got to achieve the corporate goals. But each of them have to do it themselves. So you've now got 4 entrepreneurs who are technically very good at what they do. Otherwise, they wouldn't be part of Ailsa.
Yeah.
But they've got a whole new thing to learn and belief set. They've got to do the journey that you go through, the journey that you and Jamie went through.
Have you got them a whiteboard yet? So you can get the...
No, whiteboards we're struggling with, but we've got things emailed around because we've got a couple based in Aberdeen, a couple based down in this part of south of Scotland.
Yeah.
So the logistics of that we're working on, but it's a case of introducing the ideas. They've all been through the finances and they understand the finances of their division where they are now.
Yes.
The current phase is, right, okay, where can you take this? Now you understand where you are.
Yeah.
Let's dream and let's make it up. Get excited
about
about it.
Yeah.
And then you start applying a bit of common sense and experience. But you can't hold that back. They've got to create they've been given the freedom to do something exciting. And that doesn't happen very often.
They've got the reins, haven't they?
Yeah. And okay, within certain constraints, but right now it's go for it, create something big.
Yeah.
And I think Ailsa, the group of Ailsa, whatever that ends up being called, will be vastly stronger because of it.
Yeah, because don't get us wrong, everyone's a little bit anxious in that, but there's a lot of excitement behind it all as well, isn't there?
Yeah, but it's also a case of, it's not a case, they've not been saying, go and set that business up.
See you later.
No, it's like everybody's pulling together. It is early stages, of course it is. Yeah. So people if they weren't nervous, I'd be worried.
Yeah.
They're nervous because they care.
Definitely.
So it is, and yourself and Jamie have decided, for better or worse, get me involved to give these people support. But the pair of you are there too, and you know that, yes, they've got to be given free rein, but you're there making sure that they've got the support they need. Yes. They'll get the rewards are there in terms of the freedom, and they can employ more people. And that's the great thing. I actually can't remember offhand what the number of people are going to be working for Ailsa are in 3 years or 10 years, but it's going to be a lot.
It's certainly going to be close to 100.
Yeah.
So it's the goal, but even by the end of this year, we're looking at over 30 people for us already. So even if I was to step back, 4 or 5 years ago, and you think, would you have 30 people this in 5 years' time? Oh no, maybe 10 or 12 or something. That's kind of been ambitious thinking at the time. And so, yeah, even sitting here saying, it could be 100. Well, for all we know, if we keep going the way we're going, and that number could be any number, and we could be sitting going, I used to think 100 sounded daunting, and there we are with 200 people or something,
Yeah, it's something that the Hunter Foundation and Sir Tom Hunter was very keen on, was sustainable job creation.
Yes.
And that's a message that I picked up quite early on. And it's all very well making profit, making money, which is great. Assuming it's just what you do with the profits, the thing.
Yes.
But in the meantime, if you create sustainable jobs, that in itself helps the economy go around. It helps people's mental well-being, helps people with their purpose in life.
Yeah.
And it's not just a job. It's just a future for somebody.
Yeah.
I'm quite passionate about that.
Yeah, and any time we've taken someone on, it's never been like, we'll just contract someone for this project. It was always a long-term goal, and knowing that if you're employing someone, they're in it forever, as far as we're concerned, where we're taking them on, and you can't take someone on just for a short time period or something. You have to look and continue to grow the business to sustain all the jobs and to make sure that everyone is enjoying what they're doing as well, because that's a huge part of, you need to be going into work and home from work happy. Absolutely.
And it's similar to the ethos of the entrepreneurs and the division heads, giving people a chance and a future. So you've brought predominantly young, well, not all young, people in and given them a potential future. They can create their own future if they work hard and if they learn more about that skill and various conversations I've been involved in. Have been at the weekly and monthly meetings.
Yes.
Right, what training courses do you want to go on? Not just what we're sending you on. Your employees have got a chance to decide for themselves. Well, what do you want to go on?
Well, that's exactly why I have Lorna in the business, because Lorna, being the quality and learning development officer, is key to our teams and our younger apprentices and younger members of staff, of helping get them through the courses and the path that they want to go down as well. There's still a path for them to go, but there's also routes that they can choose going down there. And having Lorna within the business for us is key as well, because without her, it's another email to me and Jamie that we're trying to juggle while everyone else is going on. And having Lorna in the business so early as well, I mean, she's been with us for some time now, has been a massive relief to us, because she can manage all the training and all these other things that seems like almost an admin job, but it's actually key to everyone's development and learning and progression for their own careers. Because that's, I actually mentioned to the guys earlier on today, their careers, irrespective, hopefully they stay with us for a long time, but even if they don't, they need to be selfish and take everything they can get and learn as much as they can to really progress themselves and be the best person they can, rather than just going into work to tick a box or to wait till 4 o'clock or whenever the horn goes off and then you shut your laptop and away you go. Seize the day, try and make the most of the day, always try and learn new things. And I think having Lorna on board, I don't know if she's watching today, but yeah, she's been brilliant over the last...
No, I've already stolen ideas. I've taken inspiration from some of Lorna's work. It's quite surprising, my experience, that somebody like Lorna is in the business so early. It's obviously a cost to the business. And the system she's setting up is future-proofing the business.
Correct, yes.
Particularly in your industry or industries, it's a lot of younger people who are learning all the time. They don't come out of university or college with all the skill sets. No. So you've got to develop them. The people that you need don't exist.
Yes, so we have to create them.
You have to create them. You can't just put a job ad in Indeed and they appear. Yeah. It's not a case of that. So the systems...
That'd be nice. That'd be really nice if that happened.
But the systems you put in place and that she's putting in place for you are really quite impressive. So, but it's important. So back to where we spoke. It's the structures that you're putting in place now for being the 100-employee business.
Correct. Yeah.
100%. And if you don't put them in now, you won't get there. So, no, as I say, thank you to Lorna for some of the ideas I'm borrowing for other clients.
That's what it's all about, sharing knowledge, isn't it? Because that's the thing, you don't just work with us. Because although what we're talking about just now, it's a lot going on there. That's probably how much percent of your week?
No, it's not a huge percentage at the moment. I have 2 or 3 other clients. I tend to be embedded to a degree with clients because there's a lot going on.
Yes.
And every client's different, as we said earlier on. So I try not to spread myself too thinly.
No.
Because it needs commitment.
It does.
If we're actually going to make a difference, it needs commitment.
Yeah. And it's key. It's key for you spending time one-on-one with, and that's something I found very valuable from what you've done, rather than just, we'll do a group session or something, and it's slightly less valuable because people can't always chip in and things. You sitting down with the individuals one-on-ones also.
Yeah, and I think we're going to be doing a bit more of that, particularly. But these are senior people. It's not a simple training course.
No,
it's not back to the days of online. Oh, here's a half-an-hour presentation. It's not a case of that.
Print your certificate off at the end of it or something. Yeah.
Absolutely, and there may be a place for that. But yeah, in this case, these are entrepreneurs or intrapreneurs, who are setting up the business, and it's their businesses, 4 divisions, are different. So I've got to listen. Because it's not a case of I've read this book, this is how you do it.
No.
It's not about that.
It's getting them into the mindset and things. Because again, I was speaking the other day with the guys. It's all about attitude and drive. And, you could have someone that's got all the skills in the world or all the knowledge in the world, but if they've got the wrong attitude or the wrong drive or too much negativity or something about them, they're actually less valuable than someone who's got the drive, got all the ambition, can see the vision, but has maybe not got a degree. But you can train a degree, you can get a degree done. You cannot get a training course or a certificate to say that you're ambitious or you're a good leader and all these kind of things. So those skill sets I find is the challenging one to find, but probably one of the more important ones than the technical side or the actual job function, because that side of it can actually be trained up or experience can be gained.
Totally agree. And everywhere else, attitude. If you're not on board, I used to use the phrase honesty and loyalty. Are they loyal to the cause and their honesty is work? If they come in and want to work and they want to learn and want to get on, you're right. The technical skills, in a lot of cases, can be trained. In the majority of cases, can be trained, unless there's a specific. You can't train somebody necessarily to be a neurosurgeon in a couple of months. So if they're in the right ballpark, there are training courses. But they've got to want to learn. They've got to get the business.
Yes.
And the thing I've realised within Ailsa is everybody that I've met, there's not one person that isn't absolutely on board. From the finance team to the admin people to the...
even our apprentices. I'll give you an example from even yesterday. It's holiday season. Jamie's on holidays is the reason I'm sitting here. Yep. So, people are a little bit more stretched because there's a little bit less resource here and there. And they're knocking their pans in because they see the cause. But what our apprentice Evan, if he's watching... Well, actually, no, he's grafting. So when he's watching on a Friday night, instead of being out with his pals, he's also going to be watching this tonight. He didn't even question staying late to get something done because he knew it needed to be done. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't like, I'm wanting overtime or any of the money side. Like, obviously, you got paid to do it. But it was I know this needs to get done today. And if I don't get that done, there could be consequences to the client or to... the engineers or whoever would be affected by it. And off his own back, a second-year apprentice has stayed late for an hour to get a bunch of tasks done to see the difference that makes. Like, he understands the importance of that. And for me, that was a brilliant thing to see this week. Was he's not just went home because it's the end of the day, and he's not just left it for a job. Oh, it's a job for tomorrow. It's fine. I can just pop that email. He sees the value that we create for our customers. And for me, although everyone else in the business is great, it's just seeing the apprentice, actually a young engineer, having that same values and the same drive and the understanding as the older members of the team is fantastic.
But it comes from the top. It has to come from the top, but it be cascaded down. And if you and Jamie and the rest of the management structure, if you all didn't get that, it wouldn't get down to he wouldn't care. It's 4 o'clock, I'm going home. Yeah. No, it's not a case of it's the client comes first, the task comes first, I've got to get that done. Yeah. And it's the same with everybody, and division heads, Kelsey in finance has redone all the finance. It's everybody's doing extra because they want to do well, and they want to do well for everybody in the team. Yeah. It's not just to impress you and Jamie, they're impressing each other and themselves.
And everyone needs each other. It's almost like the weakest link in things, isn't it? If one area slips, it could actually have a knock-on effect throughout the rest of the business. Even if you think, it's just an admin task, that could stop that job getting invoiced. Yeah. That job not getting invoiced could stop everyone getting paid this month. Not to that extreme, obviously, but everyone has a key role. That's why they're in the company that they're in, because again, us being a relatively new startup, just coming up for the end of our fourth year, our business isn't the same as joining a big, already established business.
Yep.
Everything changes every day, every week. There's something new happening. There's new roles, new people. And that's something that it isn't for everyone either. When they're joining a business, some people like to, I'd rather be in a fully established building that I don't need to worry about moving out the next few weeks. Because again, we're outgrowing our offices and we're having to look at all these other things as well as keep the business running and growing and developing our people. And it's great to see everyone who is with us is all on board, and it's just normal almost to see all this going on. But I'd love to be like a fly in the wall on someone's opinion on who's maybe not someone we have employed, but someone who is a bit more relaxed or a bit more prefer to be in like a stable job, and they'd be like, "Oh, is this just madness that's going on?" And we just don't really see it.
Well, I think absolutely it is. It's organised chaos, in the nicest possible way, but and it's being held together. Because there's good people. The employment, you've employed the right people, but it's back to the ethos and the culture. The challenge will, of course, be when you're twice the size, 3 times the size, which is not far away. It's putting the boring things like controls and the systems in place to make sure that not just the facts and the actions are done, because you can measure that and capture that, and the data gets fed back, and if the systems are there, but to make sure this boring thing we talk about culture, make sure that's there so that you don't have to monitor an individual performance. You can trust within certain parameters, to trust that they will get on with it. They'll report back if there's an issue to their line manager, who will report back into the division head, who will report back to the centre. And it's just everybody. It sounds a bit twee about being a big family, but if you can keep that ethos, and that's what, I suppose that's exactly why you're doing what you're doing with the 4 division heads.
Yes, exactly that. And that's, again, even having yourself heavily involved in that as well. It's all about that. Exactly that. Yeah.
No, it's exciting times, and in a lovely chaotic way, but it's not chaotic, if that makes sense. It's very organised.
There's a lot of spinning plates, but yes, it's again having the structure and processes and things in place is what really keeps that all together. Because it would be. Oh, I think,
absolutely. Yeah. Otherwise, if you and Jamie hadn't started 4 years ago putting iOS, the thoughts towards iOS and the other structures in place, it would actually be chaos. It's not chaos.
Yeah. That's cool. Glad to hear it's not chaos yet.
Yes, that's maybe next month.
Yeah. Well, Jamie's just coming back from his holiday today, so we'll see what wild ideas.
That's right. He's due off a plane in about an hour or 2 hours. So.
Yeah, so you won't actually be watching this until later on today. So one thing I'm going to drop in is if you can give this video a like and a share or whatever, just get some engagement going, just so that when he comes back from his holiday, we can say, look, Jamie, we've got 20 odd, 30, 40, 50 likes and all this stuff, because that'll annoy him. He'll be like, no, yes, I'm going to have to beat that. So just to wind them up a wee bit.
I should know. I don't know the stats of Jamie's recent, but yeah, if we can beat that, just to annoy him, it would be quite funny.
Yeah. So even if you haven't liked today's podcast, just give it a like anyway, just for a laugh. Yeah. But I think we're just about out of time. You want to?
No, I'm enjoying the journey. It's one of the things. I've been horribly in business for 41 years. Anyway, and it's so nice to get excited and enthused again. And it's happened periodically, but when I was in the corporate world, I kind of got tired and bored with life a bit. And now it's on the back of somebody else's journey.
Yes.
Just to see that excitement, to see young people coming through, to see jobs being created, and to see problems and solutions.
Yeah.
It's just, it's exciting to be involved. So
that's one thing I struggle with, is to step back and reflect on where we are and what we've achieved even in the last, say, 12 months. Because every week, I said to you earlier, just before we came on air, it's Friday every week before I know it.
Absolutely.
We're just getting so much stuff done and a lot of great progress every single week, but it's just Friday again. You're just like, whoa, I can't even think what I've achieved this week, because there's just been so much stuff going on. And I think getting some time to reflect and seeing how well the team's building and the culture's growing is something I'm going to personally take away from even today's conversations.
Joking apart, from the business owner's point of view, everybody gets busy, and often they get too busy for too long. And you have to be busy. Nobody's going to do the work for you.
No, correct.
But there's a point that you have to be able to take Jamie, take a holiday. It's been a while.
Well, Lana just books mine. So, she knows I won't book a holiday off, so I just look at my diary and it's like, oh, I'm off for a week. Where I'm off to, no idea.
But business, you've got to be able to take a step back and just now and again, not necessarily just pat yourself on the back, but just appreciate the achievements.
Yeah,
because it will reinvigorate you. It'll keep you going when the next trough comes before the next exciting bit.
And recharge the batteries as well,
Absolutely.
Most importantly. So
and just stay sane and stay healthy.
That's it. And that is a key point as well, is keep looking after your mind and that. But for me, I just love it, to be honest. I just get cracked on, and like I say, it's Friday before I know it. So
that's exciting times.
Definitely is. So I'd like to thank you for joining us on the show. You'll definitely need a lie down after you've
not joking.
Tucked into that. Like, say it every week, but it doesn't look as big on that screen when you're watching it from home.
Can I just remind people of the size? I don't know if you can see that. That's this Gro's Best cinnamon twirl bun, whatever. Fantastic.
Wonder Trump should come down and go to Gro since he's here.
He's not very far away from here. Actually.
Yeah, he's almost around the corner. So we'll get this shared enough times because it's going to blow up just so.
That'd be good.
Jamie's numbers, hopefully Trump will see that.
Good for Gro's business. If
sure.
Mr. Trump can pop in and get a coffee and a cinnamon bun, I'm sure he'll be delighted with it.
Happy days, eh? So, thank you all for tuning in for another week's episode, and we'll catch you again next week.